archaeologists. I'm the John Struct. Again. Ah. I've not spoken today, and I can tell. I'm having a deadly premonition adventure. Very important I say that last bit. Otherwise, it sounds like I'm just having a deadly premonition. Ooh, hello, Rambler. Also, thank you very much again for the sub. I have armed myself with some ginger biscuits because about an hour in, this game started to make me feel a little nauseous, which a couple of games have been doing to me recently. So I decided to get some ginger, which I'm told helps. The official NHS website. Now, I can't keep buying ginger biscuits. I'm trying to not have snacks, but I thought I'd do it once to see if it worked. I'll invest in some peppermint tea and some ginger tea, some ginger ale. But yeah, I think it works. I probably shouldn't have gone for the cheapest brand, because I imagine they skimp on the ginger. But yeah. It's specifically with this game is you can't change the FOV, and I believe it's because the low frames per second in certain action scenes. That'll do it to me. So thanks game for doing that to me. I mean, it is a famously buggy game, and I was all for hilarious bugs. I didn't think it'd mess with my inner ear balance or whatever the hell it does. Let's load our game. Yes, I seem to remember the last thing that happened was it trolled me with a different small furry animal based key, and I was like, I'm done for the night.
Previously during the investigation, these puppies are making me go to another town in the boondocks again.
I didn't think you'd keep me waiting in the rain for so long.
Welcome to Greenville. I'm the sheriff, George Woodman. Call me George.
There's definitely something in this town. Do you feel it, Zach? My coffee warned me about it.
Damn fine coffee. Or so I'm told, or coffin, as I put it in the title, because I was trying to be clever. Yes. I should report to the headquarters to give them an update. What I'll do is, every time I lose something in my flat, instead of investigating the entire flat, I go to where I think it is, and then I go, but it should be there! And I look repeatedly in the place I've already confirmed it is not. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to go that direction, which would leave me a new thing. I'm going to go back over it now. I guess I should check this direction. But my instinct tells me to check the place I literally just went to. I guess they meet guests in this room. The joy of smaller towns. We have many of these houseplants, in the city, but I figure they have them out here, too. Ah. Houseplants. What will they think of next? Right. The other thing is with nausea. Once something makes you nauseous, like, then there's the anticipation of it happening again. I mean, it's not just nausea that happens. You know what I mean. Like, my brain is now like zoned in to that particular thing happening. George, talk to me. George, what sort of woodsman are you? Talk to George later. Looks hard to work, but I could probably get the same work done while reading a book. Really? She's a blanket handy. I figure most women are prone to cold. I mean, there was a weird way of... What's on that monitor? Good way of putting that, but... The door wasn't locked. No, George is in there. Georgie!
George, do you work out every day?
Of course, Agent Morgan. Exercise keeps me healthy. I haven't missed a day since I started in high school.
Now that's impressive. Remind me to get more exercise, Zach.
Get more exercise.
But I can't do my full routine today without Arnold. I haven't seen Arnold around since yesterday.
Arnold.
He's a training buddy of mine. His partner Sylvester misses him too. If you see Arnold around, let me know, will ya? Can't finish my workout menu without him.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Lost Arnold! Oh, we have a quest. George has lost his beloved Arnold somewhere in the sheriff's office. He can't train without him. Find what he's looking for and get it back to him. Help him get his groove back. Okay. Got a head shaped like an American football, right? Don't bother me unless you have something really important. I already don't have enough to worry about with Arnold missing. I'm looking for him. That's what I'd look like if I had a lower resolution. Huh. Well, I guess it's a good thing I came in here then. Oh, hello, Uchi.
Zach, look at this.
Hello there.
Oh, now this is something special. It's the epitome of the old frontier sheriff's office. It's perfect. A stuffed deer's head on the wall. A flag, a hunting rifle. A hunting rifle. Amazing. You'd never see a hunting rifle on the wall of a police department in the city. It's just amazing. I wonder if the sheriff would ever let me shoot it.
Sounds kind of quaint. Like, obviously, whenever this game was made, it just assumed that you'd never see, like, a hunting rifle, you know, in the big city. I have my doubts, but, you know what? I live in the UK. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Yeah, different times. I mean, you hear about, like, American police stations having, like, entire arsenals. Like, military-grade equipment nowadays. But not necessarily on the wall. Oh, yeah, I meant to talk to you, Emily.
Hi.
Hello there, Emily. Could you perhaps show me around the office before this meeting starts? I'm sorry, Agent York. I've got my hands full. Could you ask... Was Emily Watts in a different... is she... on? Not Blue Velvet. What's that called? Emily Watts is in... Oh, I've forgotten. You know, there's a dude, he writes the Twin Peaks and then he writes other shows. Like, he made the movies. I've forgotten how to think as well as speak. Could you ask Thomas? Yeah, but Thomas wants to do stuff. I don't think it's a good idea. Why? What's going on? He's lost his key. He's lost his key to the cabinet with the files. He asked me to take a look around the office until he finds it. I have my phone on me. Anyway, I'm just curious as to why somebody made... I mean, I might be wrong, but, like, there's a character called Emily that looks suspiciously like Emily Watts to me. But Emily Watts is in Twin Peaks, the revival, the return, which is obviously made after this. But she definitely wasn't in the original Twin Peaks. So I'm assuming that she might have just be, you know, somebody who's in his films in general, and that would explain. Yeah, I don't like the wild swings. I'm trying to... What's this? Right, I need to turn that off. Yeah, no, oh god, I apologise. I did not realise it wouldn't do that. Right, rain in the evening. Okay. I'm not sure that was worth the $3 I got for that. Right, there's Blue Velvet, there's Inland Empire. I don't mean that one. And I only know Inland Empire because there's a it's one of the skills in Disco Elysium. Okay. Go in there. What about Housewives? I've forgotten what that's called. I've forgotten his name as well, which hasn't helped. My brain's just going, no, I will serve you no information today. But I think there's a film about a lady going to, like, Florida or whatever it is, Hollywood, become an actress, and she imagines she becomes an actress, but the actual reality is not that. Oh, long-tailed flying squirrel keys. But you can't tell what's real and what's not. David Lynch, that's the name I was thinking of. I don't need to change my clothing. How is everyone? Agent York, did you find the key? Yes.
You found the key. I hope so.
No, this is a sugar glider. Sorry, wrong key. The sugar glider is a small gliding possum. It has shorter hair and a longer column-like tail. You can really see its muscle definition on this image, can't you? But we're looking for a southern flying squirrel right now.
Zach, can you tell these things apart?
No. I'm going to put it to you that the decision to mark all the keys with various monkey types was not sensible. But look, I found 2 lost sets of keys, presumably. Huh. That, I mean, it sounds like a lot of work. But also, you're currently talking to somebody who would love a cat, but doesn't want to do the work involved in a cat, so I don't have a cat. Actually, I'm not 100% sure I'd be allowed one. That looks like some keys to me. I'll have to stand there to pick them up. That looks like a flying squirrel. Sneak in, sneak in. Where did you go? Oh, you're there.
You found the key.
I think
Yes.
so. Is this it?
You don't know your squirrels, do you? This isn't the right key holder.
God damn it, how many fake
This
keys
is
are
a
there?
Siberian flying squirrel. It's closer to a land-based squirrel. The Siberian flying squirrel is larger than the southern flying squirrel and has a standing tail while the southern has a hanging tail. But we're looking for a southern flying squirrel right now.
You sure do know a lot about squirrels.
Well, if we're ever in a squirrel-based murder situation, I know who my primary suspect is going to be. It's going to be Emily! Because she was in the room at the time. I've read a mystery novel before. I know how they work. Haha! You thought I was going to say the other person. Why did I go in here? Alright, so here's a question. Would it have been possible for me to immediately find the correct keys? Or is it always the last place you look? I.e., do they change the keys that you find? Are you holding keys? Person probably has nothing to do with the investigation. Yeah. Outside of people who are very rich and therefore never get told no, I don't quite get why people get pets that really aren't very suitable as pet material. Yeah, there's like a glint as well. That glint means bed. This glint means person here, but maybe he knows. Suspect finding the cupboard will take a while. We'll get that medal at the very least. Okay. Because he said Curry Tail, didn't he? I don't know. I won't lie. He could have given a... I'm not sure what description would have made me immediately go, right, I know the difference between all these squirrels now. I'm not sure why I put my cup of tea out of reach like that. Not very sweet. Nope. Person-based movement direction rather than camera. Makes sense here. Oh, there's lots of people here. While I search around this office building for keys. Yes, I found the key. It's the correct one.
You found the key.
That's the right one?
Yay?
Yes, a southern flying squirrel. Thank you so much.
First time.
I'll bring the files right in, so please go to the meeting room.
Okay, I'll be waiting for you. Well, Zach, we just got here and we've cracked a big case already.
The victim's name was Anna Graham. Age 18, she just recently graduated from high school this year. Her dream was to move out to the city and become a model. But for the time being, she was working in the A&G diner here in town. She lived with her mother, Sally. Anna's father died in an accident in a lumber mill when she was a child. Her mother is unemployed and lives on the insurance money from her husband's accident.
Very shiny paper.
After all, it's a small town with a low cost of living. Financially, they seem to get by fine, and they led normal lives.
A normal life is exactly what a curious teenager doesn't want. It's all starting to make sense, Zach.
There's a meme. It's like...
Folk, huh? No, I take that back. All of them can't be as bad as him, and some should have better manners.
Huh. This is a good biscuit. I've never
So I'll
tasted a biscuit
carry on my
this
thought in a
delicious.
second.
Where in town can I get these?
Well, actually, I baked them myself.
That's amazing. What are you doing in law enforcement? I'm very particular about biscuits, I'll have you know. The balance of milk and butter you've achieved here.
I got biscuits.
Agent Morgan, the autopsy's ready. You are welcome to accompany me to the Greenvale General Hospital. Emily, you come too. Thomas, stay here and tidy up these files.
Yes, sir.
We're going to use the car outside. Let's get going. You might think this is just a small-town police investigation, but our inspections are thorough and solid. I'm hoping you won't slow us down.
Right, yeah, hang on, what was he eating? I forget biscuits means... Oh, because it's like biscuits and gravy, right? So it would have been a scone or something? Something scone-esque? Something... Yeah, when I say biscuit, I mean this. It's sweet. This one happens to be gingery. It's I don't know if there's a difference between a cookie and a biscuit. But yeah, but I don't know what they mean by biscuit, now that I think about it. It was quite tall. Also, I mean, contextually it makes sense. Yes, I just heard about that, Uchi. That fucking sucks. Because it's close to his birthday as well. Bear in mind, though, this would have been translated... This would have been written in Japanese and translated. Oh yeah, sorry. There's a meme. Like a Tumblr meme? No, I don't know what the original... Anyway, it's like, imagine like an image macro. It's a sort of like a young woman doing the sort of shaky head. And it says like, that smile, that damn smile, as if to say, that smile could get me to do anything. But then I would superimpose the agent's smile onto that meme. That's the picture I'm trying to conjure. I'm not the... You pair it with a smile that isn't, you know... You do the thing. There we go. I'm glad somebody knew what I was talking about, because I am terrible at describing memes. Agent York. Anyway, we managed to get through this. We found the squirrel key. Sugar donut. I really wish this music game had more
Greenville General
music.
Hospital is down the road by the lake. It's too far to walk. Come on, get in the car.
If I'm riding in a car, George, I prefer to be the driver. Can you provide a car for me?
What are you talking about? You don't even know how to get there.
Which is another good reason for me to drive, George. I need to learn my way around town.
Oh, man. Very well. Then I'll ride with you. I want to keep an eye on you.
Fair enough.
Just one thing, Agent Morgan. Your involvement in this case is limited. That means you don't have to learn your way around town.
Because, like,
George, we'd better get moving. The hospital closes at 2100.
I love how they use the 2 songs, I really do. But, like, I really do wish it had more than 2 songs. Let's observe this car. Yes. Oh my word, did I become a magic FBI person? When did that happen? Oh, because it started raining. Okay.
Agent Morgan, get us there quickly, but drive within the speed limit. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can drive like a maniac.
George, what are you, his mother?
We just need to get the autopsy results.
Agent York isn't accustomed to the town yet. Give him a little slack. Well then, Agent York, let's get going.
Sure, sounds good.
Brum brum, I'm driving a car. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, I needed to do that. Nope, no, I didn't. Ah, that just gets me out of the car.
If you're wandering off, then we'll go on ahead.
No, I
we
just...
don't have time to mess around.
I wasn't messing
Okay,
around.
I'll meet up with you later.
Agent York, the hospital closes at 2100. Please make it inside.
I just
before
got out of the car for the wrong... I pressed the wrong button. I guess I'm driving alone. Can I change the camera angle? There we go.
Speaking of 80s movies, one Jewel in the Rough springs to mind. Deadly Spawn. Do you remember that one, Zach? Back in 83, directed by Douglas McCann. Right, it was filmed pretty cheap, but still it was pretty good. The monster design with the mouth crammed full of teeth, I loved it. So many delicious B-movie cliches. Did you know that they made a sequel? But I never got to see the sequel. The rental store didn't have it for some reason. They said the staff for the sequel was totally different from the original. I wonder how the sequel turned out. You know, the monster in that one responded to sound. Wait, Zach. Sounds a lot like the movie Tremors.
Oh, I've seen
I
Tremors.
think that one was back in '89, directed by Ron Underwood. Now that was a great role for Kevin Bacon. Masterpiece.
Zach, that one had sequels like crazy. I remember there was a 4th one. I've only seen the first one, though.
I've seen several. Okay, that means all the films he's talking about are real then. So I'm very excited to hear that name drop.
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out?
Yes.
They told us to be there before 2100, but don't worry about that. Let's do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, well, there's a bone. I'll take this left-hand bone.
A human bone? This doesn't look related to the case, but shouldn't I let someone know?
Also, I do want to pet the dog with the dog. Alright, 2 out of 10, can't pet dog. Did not see the medal, I'm sorry. I have no idea what time it is right now. Okay, is there a zoom out button? I'd love to be considerably further away. Alright. Give the medal there. Oh, oh, did I pick it up while in the car? This is new information. Okay, cool. This will save us some time.
Tremors. I think Fred Ward was in it.
Yes, it was.
You say Fred Ward, and I say Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
I've seen that.
That one was back in '85, I think. Directed by Guy Hamilton. I guess Hamilton was aiming to start a series like 007, but it had no sequels. Real shame. Do you remember the martial arts they used in that film? Called Sinanju? The ultimate in martial arts, using no weapons at all. Remo's master Chun ran across water, remember? And he loved soap operas. Man, that was a good character. He was played by Joel Grey, the best supporting actor in Cabaret. Of course, in Remo, he had so much makeup on, you couldn't tell.
Fun fact, bears are plantigrade, walk with their heels on toes, and foot. I'm going to need to turn. I've got a thing covering the way. Foot bone. Oh, fair enough. Yes. So how embarrassing if you were to turn up and be like, I'm sorry, it turned out to be bear. Can you run? Well, you can run. I'm not going to do fishing. Don't worry. I know this is a Japanese game, and therefore must have a fishing mini game. Them's the rules. We don't get to invent them. I'm here for the flower. I might fish later.
This flower. There's something very mesmerizing about it. I wonder what it's called. I'll take one with me and ask someone later.
And I mean it. Like, somebody was just like, yeah, I'm gonna make a Sonic game. What do we need for a Sonic game? Well, he needs to be able to run fast, doesn't he? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. He needs to be able to run fast. Well, we're making this 3D, so we're gonna want the Tails. We're gonna want the Knuckles. Okay, well, we'll have different gameplays for them. Fine. Tails can sort of be in a mech, and Knuckles will have a terrible hide and seek game that everyone hates because it's hot and cold. And why would anyone put that in a game? But I appreciate that sort of content, you know. What I don't understand is why somebody went, but it needs fishing. This Sonic game needs a big fisherman cat called Big, the fisherman cat. I mean, I've got the money. $24 for a lollipop? This better be like caviar flavoured or something. We're gonna do some crackers as well. Am I gonna need to recover from hunger? I've acquired crackers. You know what? It just occurred to me that I probably shouldn't say that word out loud because of reasons, and I'm just gonna move swiftly onwards. I'm gonna buy some more coffee. Yeah, I've got black coffee. Big the cat is the key to all of this. Hello, dog. There is no pet button. -7 out of 10. Oh. So the horse with no name. Like, if I'm remembering the lyrics properly, the horse has a name. He's just forgotten. It's not a nameless horse. I forget loads of people's names. They've all still got names. The only other lyric I remember is ba 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 ba, which doesn't really give me much insight. Yeah, I genuinely wasn't expecting sort of Grand Theft Auto experience, but I guess they put that in all games around this era. Oh, there were 3 songs.
Agent Morgan, have you no respect for rules and protocol? We were waiting for you, and now you try to go in by yourself.
Oh, George. I didn't see you in the parking lot, so I thought I'd wait inside.
Just watch it from now on. I don't like inconsiderate people who think that they're above the rules, and I'm sure I've made this point clear by now.
Calm down, George. He probably just got lost on his way here and rushed in. Right into here?
There was a flower. I needed to pick it up. Also a bone.
Let's go inside then.
I'm glad it's not all shooting. That would have gotten old really fast.
Hello, Sheriff.
You know, like an Alan Wake. Don't call her Freckly Fiona. Just Fiona's fine.
Hi there, Fiona. We're here to see Usha. Do you know where he is?
I think Dr. Johnson is in the computer room.
A computer room? In a hospital?
Nice to meet you, Mr. FBI agent. The computer room is where our employees share a computer.
Very nice to meet you, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. How did you know I was FBI?
Easy. None of the police in this town wear cologne. Besides, that scar on your face is the biggest rumor in town.
Rumors get exaggerated as they spread, even in the countryside.
What's that you're reading, if I may ask?
You haven't heard of this yet? It's a recent bestseller mystery. It's set in the U.S., a small traditional North American town close to the Canadian border. A peaceful, traditional place. However, that peaceful town is shattered by a terrible crime, the murder of a local girl. And that incident causes grief and sadness to everyone in town. But everyone thinks seditious, heinous evil still lurking, alive. Yes?
Yes, you can hear.
Right now, here in Greenville.
There are,
Don't
I
say
believe,
that.
3 songs in this game.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. With Anna dead and all.
Don't worry. Books are written to entertain. It's good you're enjoying it. What we're faced with here is a terrible crime.
How are you? Even though I kind of know how you are.
Much different from that of a novel. So there's no need to apologize.
Thank you, Agent York.
Okay. I'm enjoying the idiosyncrasies of this game, but I am going to be slightly grumpy if they make me search for keys again. Please don't make me do that game. Why, what's going on? What's phone do again? Phone lets me save. Thank. Do you know what your... Oh yes. Well, that's good at least, yeah. Oh yeah, she did say that. Okay, fair enough. Then I have to remember to speak and stuff. I'm approaching a sparkly. Oh no, the TVs just say the weather and flash it in a way that I don't think computer games should do. Rain until afternoon. We should have some coffee until it stops. My health is full and the beep boop bar is empty. You know, you go into the hospital and they wire you up and it goes boop, boop, and you don't want it to beep for too long because that means you're dead. That's currently showing nothing. George, what's up? Let's go to the computer room. We need to find Usher. If I don't know any Usher lyrics. But if I did, I'd be referencing them right now. I'd be all like... And then, after I said that, you'd be like, haha, because that sort of relates to the situation. But I don't know any references to Usher. So I can't do that. Oh yes, I had a look at your the VOD, because I think I was streaming at the same time. But yes, I saw you were playing Echo Knight. That's good.
We couldn't find him.
Fiona needs to check her information.
No, I don't think so. Does the doctor like playing games by any chance?
Specifically chess.
What do you mean?
There's a message on the computer.
Also, there's
and a
7
card key
chess
already
posters.
set in place. The king passes the rook and meets the bishop. The knight takes a pawn along for the queen.
What does that all mean?
Okay, not my
It's a
first
simple
rodeo.
puzzle.
Yes, it's like the numbers.
Seth, let's take him up on his challenge. You can do this, right?
The king passes the rook and meets the bishop. Knight takes the pawn to the queen. I mean, I'm just going to put them down in the order it says, but I don't know. I don't know what a king and a queen looks like in chess. I'm gonna guess that this is the king. Yes, okay. This is the rook. This is the bishop. This is the knight. Pawn, queen. Checkmate. Is that bad or good?
The doctor awaits below with the deceased.
You know what I thought the puzzle was gonna
Another
be?
code?
Ah,
But
thank you.
there's nowhere to insert a password.
More games. I'm going to get Fiona to call Usher up here.
Yes, because
right
there
now.
was jazz in the original Twin
No need,
Peaks.
George.
And there's a lot of Twin
The
Peaks
message appeared
references.
with the card key. It's telling us where to use it.
This is not the time to be joking around, Agent Morgan.
Dr. Usha is below with the deceased. With Anna. Below being underground, I take it. Simple. Simple. Then it's time to meet the mischievous architect of this little game.
Nah.
Okay, so I officially don't understand the puzzle. I mean, I solved it instantly, but I don't understand how it's a puzzle. Here's what I thought the puzzle was going to be. In this room, there are 6 posters. One says knight, one says pawn, one says rook, one says bishop, one says queen. That's 5 posters, whatever. There's a computer that had a phrase, so I thought it'd be numbers. I thought it was going to say on the computer the 5 pieces. Then I'd have to look at the posters, see the order of the posters, and convert the pieces into numbers, and then put the numbers into the computer. I've been playing a lot of puzzle games recently. That's totally how you'd solve that puzzle. But no, the puzzle was just identify the words in the sentence, and then write them down in the order in the sentence. Which I won't. It doesn't feel like a puzzle. But like, if like the thing about Riven, sequel to Myst, puzzles in that game are really hard because they're like 6 layers of abstraction, where you're like, right, I've got this information, but I've got to convert it to this other information, which I've got to convert into another layer of information. And each layer of abstraction, it gets harder because you just don't know which order the layers are in. Like, there is a logic to it, but like, most puzzle games don't go beyond like 3 or 4. That's why Riven is really difficult. This had no layers of abstraction. I don't know if I've seen a puzzle have no layers of abstraction before. No, Dr. Johnson's in the basement. Then let's go and see him. So, what's it called? Is it called The Room? Yeah. So the room 1 and 2 has like 1 layer of abstraction. You kind of go, oh, this, it's more of an escape room than a puzzle game, to be honest. Where you're like, oh, there's a squirrel-shaped hole. I better go find the squirrel-shaped key, and you're like, okay, well, I've got to find it. And sometimes there are 2 layers because you've got to convert things. And it's only the 3rd game where it gets a little bit more difficult, and you're not just sort of using keys and doors. And I like the room for what it is as well, and it does, you know, it gets harder. Although when I get stuck with the room, it usually turns out that I just didn't see a thing. Anyway, oh, I've got a light. Why is this hospital so dark? It's a very swingy camera. But this is the one place I want to go. It says do not enter. And I want to enter. Okay. Yeah, it has, hang on. I think Mini Coop bought it because she was watching the stream. She really liked it. They're very satisfying games, especially the first 2. In a sort of click, clock, click, clonk, you know, just playing with a toy type way. Oh yeah, I got a bit nauseous last time. I just accidentally flung a biscuit on the floor. I got some ginger biscuits because it will help with my nausea if I get any. But yeah, this song. This isn't. I said earlier there's only 2 songs, and then I said, oh no, there's 3 songs. There's at least 4 songs. This song doesn't play in cutscenes. I swear only 3 songs plays during cutscenes. But what's funny about this jazzy music is it makes me think of Theme Hospital. Okay, stairs be through here. No. You know what? I'll just follow the arrow. Who are you? Doesn't matter who he is. Oh, it's a stamina bar. Why does a stamina bar use a Booper logo? That's it. Yeah, the camera has massive oversteer. I can't. This is me. Yeah, if I try just subtly adjust, it swings a lot. It's very much in a rush. Oh, I found some stairs. Lovely. Oh. To a cutscene. Maybe I have a biscuit. Yeah, so this Sea of Thieves made me nauseous, but not when I was sailing. When I do too much jumping around and stuff. I think it's specifically when I sprint in that game, because it does a weird effect.
Usha, sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, you made it. Let's get started, shall we?
This is Agent Morgan from the FBI.
Nice to meet you. I'm Usha Johnson, the doctor in this hospital.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. Everyone calls me that.
Very well, Agent York.
Are you a forensic practitioner?
Let's just say I've dealt with corpses before.
That battle of wits, by the way. Did you create that yourself?
I just wanted to see if our FBI agent could handle the task.
I see. Well, it was pretty fun.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
We don't have much time. We need those autopsy results.
Next time, try challenging us without obstructing an investigation. You've angered the monarch.
Didn't obstruct the... We dealt with the puzzle in like a minute. Less than that, like 10 seconds.
From the onset of rigor mortis, the stiffening of the muscles, the time of death is estimated to be between 20 and 2200 hours. That's still quite early for such a crime to take place. Note that there are 2 exterior wounds, pressure marks around the neck, and a long cut running from chest to abdomen. Blood marks on her right hand tell us she was gripping something round in her right hand.
This is what gripping looks like.
Her skull is also fractured, but that is unrelated to the cause of death. It probably happened to her after she was killed. Now, I first thought death by suffocation, due to the marks on her neck. But after further investigation, I now have a different conclusion. The direct cause of death was loss of blood from the wound.
Which means...
She was cut up while she was still alive.
Yes, a sharp knife was used. It was inserted beneath the sternum and then quickly sliced downwards. The excessive loss of blood from her internal organs is what actually killed her. Her nails are clean, and with no skin cells from the attacker. She also doesn't appear to have been bound nor badly beaten.
She's got a skull
She was
fracture.
apparently killed without resistance.
Oh, that was after.
The most tragic thing, however, was that she was unable to speak her story to anyone who could hear her cries.
What?
The perpetrator cut out Anna's tongue.
Okay, why didn't you just say that then?
Well, I believe she was drugged first to phase her consciousness, and then the killer killed her. Now, the killer most likely has a deep, traumatized past concerning women. He probably cannot converse with them normally. Cutting out the tongue suggests a very lonely individual. Either that or a truly hardcore sadist.
This is a cross-discipline morgue attendant.
You must get off on watching women suffer, especially when they can't answer back. He watched as the blood pumped from her body, as she gradually grew cold, case in Seattle in 1985 with much like...
Usher, please, limit your report to your findings as a doctor. Criminal profiling is my job.
Alright, okay, it was the game doing that. Purpose.
You're wrong, also.
It's a...
Anna died fully, deeply, painfully aware of what was happening to her.
But,
Tell me, what time did it stop raining on the night Anna was killed?
Just before I went to bed, right after the movie on TV ended, so around 1 a.m.
What movie was it?
An American Werewolf in London.
Directed by John Landis, 1981. So the rain stopped, accompanied by the ending song, Blue Moon. George, would you mind if I examined Anna myself?
What more do you hope to find?
I'm sure I mentioned that I have a personal interest in cases like these.
So, yes, yeah. I deliberately didn't play this game until I'd watched all of Twin Peaks. Now, Twin Peaks: The Return hadn't been made when this game came out, which is why I'm quite surprised that Emily Watts appears to be in this game, because she's not in the original series; she's only in the new one. But yes, I wanted to know any I didn't want the references to be backwards. I wanted them to be forwards for once. But the thing about that series is, it's pretty clear from the beginning they wasn't intending on actually telling you who did the murder. It's not... They do actually tell you, and it does make sense, but it's not the intention. Like, it's pretty... Like, there's an episode early on, it might even be episode 1, it's definitely the first 3 episodes, where the agent... I've forgotten his name. Blimey. He gathers, like, the sheriff, deputy, and a couple of deputies, and the receptionist. And he writes, it's a very famous scene. He writes a bunch of names of all the people in the town on a blackboard, places some bottles in, like 40 meters away, and throws stones at them. And whenever it hits a bottle, he's like, oh, write that down. Oh, it's skimmed. That one's skimmed. Yeah, that could be important. Write that down. And it's that scene where you should be going, okay, this isn't Poirot. Like, I shouldn't expect... watching the series, I shouldn't expect it. There's never going to be a scene where he gathers everyone in the room and explains what's happened. Like, that's not what you're watching the series for. Now, turns out there is a scene where he gathers everyone, because it turns out the writing quality on Twin Peaks is not... It's not great all the way through. But, like, it's a wonderful scene, because it's like, okay, you firmly established that this show is... not about it's not a police procedural. It's like a weird satire of like a bunch of TV programs from specifically that era with a sort of police procedural thing vaguely there. Like, it's about the town, which sounds so like gimmicky to say out loud. It's about the town, but it really like it's doing stuff. But like anyway. And it's one of the issues with Alan Wake is that the guy who wrote Alan Wake cannot have he loves his David Lynch. He will reference him a lot in all of the games, but he cannot write a mystery that doesn't have every single element figured out. It's what I like about I will totally observe what I like about the newest game. Control is in Control, ironically, it's the game where he learns he doesn't need to tell you everything. That, like, some things can just stay a mystery, some things can be thematically impossible to know. There's still clues to everything that's going on in the game, but you're not outright told everything like you are. Like in Alan Wake, every single element wraps up neatly. Like, they introduce Twin Peaks has the log lady, and the log lady, she near the start of the series, she says, my log saw thing, and so the idea is the agent, of whose name I've forgotten, obviously doesn't know how reliable she is because she's a lady talking about a talking log, but like everything she says is like she obviously did witness an important part of it, or the log did. But also, maybe we should take the idea that her log can talk seriously. So why not? Because this is Twin Peaks. But like, you don't know. In The Return, she's used differently, but like you don't. In Alan Wake, there is the Lady of the Light, and she looks just like the log lady, and she's constantly turning off and on light switches, testing them to see if they all work. And everyone says like, "Pay her no mind. She just does this. She's perfectly safe to be around." And then it turns out that she's part of a secret, like 200-year-old tradition where she has to keep the lights on because the darkness is defeated by light in a very literal sense, and she maintains the light so like this is what I mean, like it has to connect in a way that what is satisfying as a story, but it's not Lynchian. And so for somebody to try really hard to make a Lynchian story and write like this, it doesn't work on that level. Whereas obviously Japanese games don't have that issue. They are quite famously quite, esoteric. So in this, even though a lot of the references are kind of facile, like, oh, he likes coffee as well. He likes coffee. Like, that's sort of fine because it's not important to the plot. Like, it's just a director saying, hey, I enjoy this person. But I'm assuming, I'm curious to see how the plot works. How much of it is actually Lynchian or the mood it's trying to create, and how much is kind of actually logical, because you do go into these things still wanting a logical ending, even though the thing it references really didn't need one. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to observe. His age isn't immediately apparent, though he can't be that old. Looks like a trustworthy doctor. Shouldn't stare at her for too long. Still no hint of a smile. There's no reason we should focus our efforts on George. Traces of evaporated liquid around the eyes. She must have cried before she was murdered. Tongue has been removed. Look at the edge of the stump. Beautiful blonde hair. Sure. Stunning even in death. Bit of a weird comment, won't lie. Judging from the impression, she was holding something in her hand, but it was removed around 6 hours after death. The object was circular with a relief shaped like a peace mark. No, that looks like a... it looks like a flower, like one of those French flower symbols. Yes. Even Alan Wake does do that occasionally. Like at the start of Alan Wake, you meet somebody called Tom Maine, and you're like, oh, I get it, because Maine is where Stephen King sets all of his things. And then, like, when there's floating objects being thrown at you, the guy literally says, it's a bit like a Stephen King novel. And it's like, okay, I didn't think you'd literally outright say that. Anna's body is lying on the table. Yes, I feel like you didn't need to tell me that, game. I understand the conceit. She's neatly wearing fake fingernails. Okay, that's all of them.
From her lack of resistance, I'd say that Anna's injuries happened very quickly. Unable to speak, she was then left to cry herself to death.
Zach, it's all starting to come together.
The perpetrator stayed with her for at least 2 hours until it stopped raining. At the estimated time of her death, it was still raining, but you can still see tear marks on her cheeks. That means she was killed under a roof somewhere. She was then carried into the woods after it stopped raining.
There's one other thing. Her tongue was removed with a very blunt knife. In fact, it's more likely it was simply chopped off.
I'll show. Are you a passionate man?
Well, not particularly, but I am man enough should the moment call for it.
George, how about you?
I'm very passionate. Yes. Especially when it comes to women. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
George, the perpetrator, is just like you. He's passionate about women.
I feel like it's a good way of getting punched in the face, York.
He's a passionate kisser. This was a kiss of death.
Ah, the perpetrator. Bit off Anna's tongue.
We'll never get a dental print from a wound like this. But this is still a big lead.
Jackpot, Zach. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
This case is now under the jurisdiction of the FBI. I'm assuming command. I'll need you to assist me in the investigation.
What in the hell do you mean, Agent Morgan? I know I said I was passionate, but you can't think I did this.
That's not why I'm assuming command, George. You're a suspect just as much as every other passionate man on Earth. Let me show you something. There you go. Amazing, huh? I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but most of the details are top secret. George, Emily, we should be going. No need to stay here any longer.
Okay. I have to sign the release. Just give me a moment.
Very well. I'll go on ahead. I can't take it any longer down here. Bishop takes queen. His rook takes your queen. Then your knight takes rook. And checkmate.
Huh?
What's the password?
My first victory in the Grandmaster ranking.
Yeah, so, I mean, we had a shootout earlier. I feel like you should mention that to somebody.
Zach, they're here.
I was wondering when it would come about. woods. Covered with a white cloth. Okay, game doesn't seem to be concerned about this dirt on the wall. Yay!
Amazing. Yes. Great.
Okay, so this should confirm that he's hallucinating, right? Because personally, I don't think he should be in charge of the investigation.
Yes. Bullseye.
It's also weird that I'm getting paid for extra, quote unquote, extra for enemies killed. It sort of implies I should be running past things, and then it's noticed that I have not walked past things. So, I've also got lined up, I don't think it's a horror game though, but it is a weird game. Killer 7. Not sure when I'm going to be able to play that, but... Get off me. Certainly, I've got to finish a couple of games before I start that though. There's also these pushable boxes, isn't there? But yeah. Yeah, I was having a really grumpy day when I decided to play Final Fantasy 13. I'd legitimately spent about 7 hours faffing for various reasons. I was like, screw it. I know I'm supposed to be playing them in order, but I'll make an exception for that game. And I reckon I can get through that game pretty quickly. We'll see. And it is weirdly nostalgic for like a really modern looking game. Run away, run away. Get it off, get it off, get it off. Stand up, York. You've seen a horror movie before. That calling is never going to do you any good. Yeah, it's this in the Portal stroke System Shock school of non-standard monster sounds. I approve. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's just... I don't know, they're crying. The effect where they lose resolution is really creepy. I like it. But yeah, I really don't like them crying in my ear like that. I really need you to stop that game. Can't keep this item anymore. You should clean up your inventory. Okay. I have an inventory to clean up. I don't know what heals me. Food probably doesn't heal me, right? It blossoms when it's raining. It only blossoms when it rains. Okay, I don't know what hunger means in this game. Or tiredness. But here's an egg for these trying times. Good time to eat. Didn't do anything. Filled up some space. Okay, I still can't. I'll put it in my toolbox, I guess. You're supposed to be dead, lady. Huh. Card key for central building. And it's... should use that straight away. devastating if we ever find ourselves in a limbo situation.
Great.
This is absurd. But it will be worth it. Already know it's not. Oh, you know what? I'm being dumb. Interesting. Tip again, why not?